What's up guys, this is Brandon H. Lee. I play Kwon Jae-sung in Cobra Kai, and today we will be reacting to and breaking down Cobra Kai Season 6, Episodes 7 and 8. Let's get douche! Double fist this time. Ooh, nice. Hey. Oh, let's go, Tori.
With another point for Cobra Kai.
Oh no, Robbie. Don't get distracted. Lock in, bro. So yeah, right there, first move is called a side swipe, and then the second move, the finishing kick, is called a cheat 900 round kick. Yeah, I was super happy I got to put this in. I think this was definitely one of those fights where Ken and Don, the stunt and fight coordinators of the show, they let me go pretty much crazy. They told me from day one that, Brandon, we want you to put every single kick, flip, whatever you want to do, we want you to go crazy in this show. So I love that they allowed me to do that here. What was interesting was this was like the first time that we weren't on the main mat. So on the main mat, we actually had spring floor underneath the karate mats, which is the same springs they use for gymnastics. So it's like a subtle spring. It helps you get a little bit more air. It's not as rough on your ankles and knees when you land. But this time we were in a pretty small space. I do remember during this shot here, I was struggling to get that kick to stack for camera. And if you guys watched the previous episode, I explained what stacking a hit means for camera, which pretty much means making it look like you hit someone for real on camera without actually hitting them. Also, I do remember, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I pinched a nerve in my back training for the Captain's War in episode 6. It was really bad at this point. I was just taking Advil, staying warm as possible, putting icy hot on to like fight through it. But at this point, it was like, I remember once we were doing the high five shot with Peyton Tori, I could like barely stand straight. So thankfully, in between episode 8 and 9, I had about a week to come back to LA and go to my chiropractor, and he fixed me up good. Shout out Dr. G at Active Health Clinic. I pinched like a small nerve in my lower back, so some of my muscles weren't firing properly. I have like the craziest muscle imbalances, but something that I always believe in, and also Ken, our stunt coordinator, always reminds us, is that film lives forever. You guys as fans don't know that we might be injured while we're filming. We just got to do the best we can. I'm just grateful that I was able to have enough time to recover. It's crazy because I haven't had an injury in a very, very long time. The timing of it, I just remember being like, are you kidding me now? Like, why now when I finally get the shot to be on like one of my favorite shows? But everything happens for a reason. I learned so much about my body after this, and I try to take care of my body even more now and try to train even harder for the next one.
Looks like we got LaRussa rattled.
Yeah, we do.
Now the real fun begins. Dial up the pressure. Enemy soldiers should never rest.
I love how serious Kreese is. Cobras are in sync. This scene in particular, even though it's like a really short scene, told me a lot about what happens in the show. So a question I'm asked a lot is, does Kwon know about Tori and Robbie? Does Kwon know this? How does he know this? I think Cobra Kai, because there's so much plot going on, there's so many characters, that there's a lot that happens with characters off camera as well that we kind of got to fill in the bubbles. I feel like this scene in particular, knowing that Kwon is meeting with his senseis outside of training to do manipulative tasks like this, kind of told me that, oh, what else has Kreese like told Kwon? So I think that's why Kwon knows about Robbie and Tori. I think he knows how to get under their skin. I think he probably learned a lot of that from Kreese. For me as an actor, it was very impactful to know the context of how much my character knows and what is happening off camera that we aren't seeing.
Yeah, right. You don't drink.
Now might be a good time to start.
Don't do it,
She's
Robbie.
cleaning everything up since Tori put us on a break. And you know what makes it worse? It's not even affecting her.
It's that Cobra
She's
Kai,
been fighting
baby.
better than ever.
Tori chose the other side. And I feel terrible for her. But we can't keep letting her get in our heads like this. It's time to accept that she's against us.
Just got a point. The timing of that. Uh-oh. Awkward. So right here, Right after we walk in and then we start walking to the bar, originally in the script, there was actually a couple lines there that they ended up cutting out. I think it was kind of like after Tori saw Robbie, she was like, let's find a different place. And then I just remember, I think Kwon had a line that was kind of like gaslighting her to stay. Something like, oh, are you too cool for us? Or something like that. But, you know, I think it wasn't absolutely necessary to have that dialogue in there. So I think it was the right call to cut that out and just move the plot further along faster.
Remember, you have a girlfriend. Yeah, so do you. We have girlfriends. We love our girlfriends.
I remember seeing this in the script and I was so looking forward to this scene.
Tonight, I like your hair. So cute.
Thank you. I have a girlfriend, though.
Well, do you want to dance?
I thought you'd never ask.
Oh my gosh, Dimitri. Oh my gosh. I remember all of us were looking forward to see Gianni dance. Uh-oh.
What?
I'm just being friendly.
No, you weren't, bro. I love this scene right here. I remember one of the first things that Hayden told me when he told me the arc of the character and kind of what happens is that Kwon kind of tries to manipulate and destroy Robbie and Tori's relationship. And me as a fan, I love Robbie and Tori together, but being able to come in and try to throw some rocks on the road in their relationship was just so much fun. That line right there, is your boyfriend better at kissing than he is fighting? We actually did that in ADR. ADR is pretty much where we're dubbing in post-production. So on set, I didn't actually say that. On set, it wasn't scripted, and I actually just, I think I whispered something like, I'm better than Robbie, or something like that. And then I also remember Jen Collada, who was directing this episode. She's like such an actor's director, and she makes the actors feel so comfortable with asking questions and directing in a way where it's very easy for an actor to understand. Originally, when we were trying to figure out the blocking of the scene, like who's going to be where, I think originally we had Kwon and Tori both facing the same direction as Robbie, and it felt kind of like awkward at that angle on how to like put my arm around her but also look at him at the same time. So I remember we walked that through with Jen, and she did such a good job in listening to what we had to say and working around it. Then she changed the position of where we are so I can see Robbie and also put my arm around Tori. It just felt way more natural that way. Another one, bro, chill. Awkward.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh no, don't do it, bro.
Oh, come on. Make a move. Guess I'll just have to kick your ass on the mat thing. Again.
This guy's such a douche.
Someone is waiting for me.
No, she's not, bro. She's in her hotel room probably crying. Oh my gosh, that scene was one of my favorite scenes to shoot. First of all, Tanner is so good at acting drunk, and he was so good at like saying so much without saying anything. I don't think he even has a line in that scene right there. This scene's really funny to me because originally at the end, when I say my final line before I leave, I like chug the rest of my drink, but I had a lime on the drink, and for some reason the lime kept like falling out and hitting my face or like falling out of the cup, and it was just it was so ridiculous because like Kwon is not supposed to be like funny in this moment, you know, he's supposed to like look badass as he's leaving, but that is just like the most unbadass thing ever, to like having a lime like go in my face. So they ended up cutting it out. Shout out to the editors. That must have been hard to like edit around because I couldn't figure out how to drink a drink. It's ridiculous. Apparently I can do a 1080 kick, but I can't drink a drink properly. Oh, this scene.
Exactly.
How cute.
Oh no.
Little
These
rivals in
guys are
playtime,
hammered.
Just ignore them.
Huh? Say the magic words.
Move aside.
Wrong.
Just leave us alone.
Only if you say please.
Uh-oh. Oh, don't do it. Ooh, good jump back kick there. Ooh.
Come on, I take you both. Let's go.
야야, 우리 잡히면 안 돼.
새끼야. See you on the mat.
We gotta go.
Oh my gosh. Coming into the scene before they would call action, I would always just spin around in circles so then I would feel drunk without having to actually drink, you know? That's actually a tip I learned from my acting coach. Shout out Annie Chang. But yeah, so I would just be spinning around in circles and people were just looking at me like, bro, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to be drunk without being drunk. Because then you're genuinely like trying to walk straight rather than like trying to fake that you're drunk. This shoot, I remember, was a little bit of a hassle because it kept like raining on and off, and to match the continuity of like the beach scene they did later, which I'm pretty sure they did that scene in Barcelona, the scene after this, it wasn't raining over there, so we had to make sure it wasn't raining in this scene, so we had to just like wait it out a lot of times. Another thing that's really funny is that part where Kwon like kneels down in front of Sam's face. That was actually just a joke at first. So something I learned from the main cast that they do really well is like during the rehearsals before we're actually shooting and we're just running the dialogue, a lot of times they'll just like do some ridiculous stuff that you probably wouldn't do. I think it's very helpful because it makes it very playful, and so you're very loose going into shooting it as a joke. Like I was just like messing with Mary, who plays Sam, and I just like kneeled down in front of her, and I remember her just being like, oh my gosh, I hate you, you're just like Jacob Bertrand. But even Mary was like, she thought it was really good, and Jen ended up loving it, so Jen told me to do it for the actual take, and I think it fits the character. On top of that, I feel bad because like we were also on an uphill slant, so we were higher than where Mary and Patrick were, so I looked even taller than I actually was. And then I remember Mary, once she kicks Cowie, the Cobra Kai member that comes in, she gave him some love there on that because I think I was genuinely like pissing her off a little bit when I was kneeling down in front of her face every time. But yeah, I'm sure she had really good control because she always does. The ending there too, where Kwon and Axel are starting to square up and we're kind of, well, mainly Kwon is just talking shit. That was also improvised. So after we did a few takes, it kind of just felt empty there. We didn't know what to do, and we were kind of just like waiting for the sirens to come in to start running away. But there was one take where Patrick and I both felt it in the moment where we just started squaring up. I just started talking crap to his face pretty much. And as a fan, I really wanted to fight Mary and Patrick, you know, Sam and Axel, especially because I didn't get to fight them too much in the show. My back was destroyed at this point. So I'm really glad that we didn't end up having to fight anyways. It just happened to be that way. It was scripted that it was going to be a really short fight anyways, and Kwon wasn't even going to fight them at all. And also that part of like, you know, me saying hit me, that was, I think, something I just added in there as well, just because like before Sam kicks Minsuk, which is Cowie, she kind of just like standing there for a while, so I felt like I'm trying to like egg her on into like hitting me, you know, because I know she won't do it because she's Miyagi-Do and it's always defense first, you know. But yeah, it was so cool because once Patrick and I improvised that moment as well, Jen actually made it a separate shot and made a whole moment out of it. So I'm pretty sure Jen was one of the writers and producers on The Office, and it shows that her comedy background of knowing how to be very spontaneous on set, she took an improvised moment and made it its own moment through the camera. So that was just really awesome to be able to feel really free as actors, kind of bring stuff to the table that wasn't originally on the script. Even though the script is already amazing, we're just kind of building and bringing new ideas on top of it. All right, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. I am planning on doing a reaction breakdown on episodes 9 and 10 very, very soon. I know a lot of people are wanting to watch that, so don't worry, it will be coming shortly. Feel free to follow me on my social media. Link will be in the description below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again. Until next time, peace.